Hi, welcome back to another episode here on Creepy with Coffee. I'm Kim, your host. So today's story is about another fishing story, but this one involves a couple instead of normal anglers that we heard about. So sit back, relax, grab your coffee, and let's get on to the story.
This is Creepy with Coffee.
Today's story comes from an anonymous poster, and the story starts like this. Welcome back, friends. This morning, I've got a story from the past to share. This tale comes from my mother. She's always been the one to share stories of real events from older generation. Growing up, I loved listening to her tales, especially when we curled up together and she narrated them in such vivid detail. Exactly what I'm trying to do here on this channel. Today's story took place in a nearby village where my mum grew up. It's about a young married couple, Sharil and Mila, I'm sure this is a changed name, who have been married for just a few months. They were still in that sweet, inseparable phase, going everywhere together, even if it meant following each other to the most unexpected places. One afternoon, the couple decided to go fishing. Sharil was familiar with a particular river deep in the forest that he used to visit with friends, so he took Mila along. They packed up their gear and started their journey, eventually reaching the secluded riverbank after a long trek through the woods. Sharil then set up his fishing lines, casting them into the water. And soon they were having a very lucky day. Every line seemed to catch a fish almost immediately. They couldn't believe their good fortune as their basket filled up in no time. As the day wore on, Sharil suddenly felt a pressing need to go to the bathroom. He told Mila to wait by the river, promising he'd be quick and telling her not to go anywhere until he returned. So I believe this is something that not you can just stand in the corner and do it. Well, this is the other business. Mila nodded and continued fishing, waiting for him as instructed. But then, day turned into evening. As evening approached, Sharil still hadn't come back. Then the wife started to feel uneasy, calling out into the forest, "Sharil! Sharil! Bang, where are you? Sharil! Sharil!" After a few moments, Sharil appeared from the bushes, looking different somehow. His face was tense and urgent. Mila, feeling a mix of relief and worry at the same time, scolded him for taking so long. But Sharil simply told her in a serious tone to climb onto his shoulder. Confused, Mila asked, "Why?" But he insisted. So, the wife climbed up immediately. Unsettled, but wanting to trust him, she did as what he told her to. As soon as she was on his shoulders, Sharil began walking quickly through the forest. They moved at an unnatural speed, ignoring thorns and branches that scratched at them, making a straight path through a thick underbush. Meanwhile, back at the riverbank, the real Sharil was frantically searching for his wife. When he returned from relieving himself, Mila was gone. All he found was their fishing gear and a basket brimming with fish. Panic surged through him as he searched every corner, calling her name with no response. His heart raced with fear and regret. He shouldn't have left her alone. Unable to find her, Sharil stumbled back to the village alone, bringing the heartbreaking news that Mila was now missing. The entire village was soon abuzz, and search parties set out to comb the forest. Days turned into nights as villagers searched every inch of the woods, but there was no trace of Mila. After a week, an entire whole week, the village elders advised Sharil to accept that Mila was now gone, perhaps taken by wild animals or lost to some other tragedy. Sharil's heart broke, and he blamed himself for ever leaving her side. Weeks later, Sharil began having strange dreams. In these visions, he saw Mila laughing and playing in the forest with a group of other women, as if nothing had happened. She was at the same river where they had been fishing, but she didn't seem to see him, oblivious to his desperate calls. Each time he woke, Shahril felt certain that Mila was alive and somehow, somewhere, just out of reach. This is when a friend told Shahril about a shaman in a nearby village who was known for his powers in locating missing people. Without a second thought, Shahril sought him out, hoping for any chance to see his wife. Again, the shaman agreed to help but asked for some unusual offerings: a black chicken and a new unused knife. It has to be unused. Desperate, Shahril gathered everything requested and they set out once more into the forest with a small group from the village. The shaman then led the way, performing rituals as he went, sprinkling the black chicken's blood into the air and striking a gong to lure any spirit that might be hiding in the forest. After what seems to be hours, the shaman signaled for the group to stop and pointed at a large tree just up ahead. Shahril's heart raced because there, standing in the shadows, was Mila. But something was different. She looked terrified and didn't seem to recognize anyone, because all these people, the husband, Shahril, and all these villagers are people that Mila knew for her entire life. When Shahril approached, she turned and began to run, speaking as though she was talking to other people, telling them to hurry up from approaching humans. The villagers watched in horror as Mila, seemingly out of her mind, kept slipping out of their grasp as if she was coated in oil. Whenever the villagers or Shahril grab her by her wrist, it seems like it's so slippery, Mila just got out of their grasp. So they keep on chasing her and keep on grabbing her. Following the shaman's advice, Shahril and the villagers grabbed handfuls of soil and kept them in their palms as they pursue her, hoping that when they grab Mila for the next round with the help of the soil, her slippery hand would be able to grab tight. Finally, when they were able to corner her, and with the combined strength of 3 men, they managed to hold her down while her body thrashing wildly. She clawed, spat, and cursed as they brought her back to the village, with her eyes locked on Shahril, filled with hatred and anger. When they returned home, Mila's family had to restrain her constantly because she would try to escape at every chance. Her skin slick and her ears filled with hardened dirt. Her hair matted with brambles and twisted beyond repair. Her nails were long and caked with grime. Her teeth yellowed and her breath smelled of decay. She had been missing for an entire month, but only after a few days of careful cleaning could they even begin to recognize her. Once she was physically clean, her family took Mila to a religious healer. Through months of care and treatment, Mila slowly regained her strength and her memories. She eventually recognized her husband, her family, and her friends. Yet the haunting experience left scars. She remembered little of her time in the forest except for strange, dreamlike visions of laughter and shadows. The villagers said Mila was taken by a spirit who had taken on her husband's appearance to lure her away. The story has become a warning passed down from older generation. Never call out a loved one's names in the forest, or you might attract something answering back. Well, that is all the story that we have for today's Creepy with Coffee. If it's not too much to ask, please do subscribe to the channel, click on the like button, notification button, and again, leave some nice words in the comment section. Again, if you guys have stories similar to like Shahril, Mila, or even tales that you have heard from older generations, why not share it with us? You can reach out to me on the comment section, or you can always send me an email. Until the next one, this is Kim from Creepy with Coffee.